Well, hello, hello. How are you? I thought I would try to make you laugh today. Okay, maybe it'll work, maybe it might not. So I'm sitting down. I'm sitting down doing sit down comedy. Okay, and doesn't it make a difference how people perceive you the way you look? I just braided my hair. This is kind of going to be my look, different styles, but it looks like I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I really only have 5. This right here is 3 right here. It turns into 2, and then it turns into 1. So this is one section that's really joined in the back and made to be one braid. Yes, and it's easy. It was pretty quick for me to do, but isn't it amazing how people perceive you by the way you look? Sometimes when you maybe wear certain outfits, you're perceived to have a certain type of personality or money or not, and things like that. And so, but anyway, it makes you feel good when you look good, right? Well, girl, yeah. So, it didn't work. I tried to put some, I tried to make myself have a black tooth with some activated charcoal, and it rubbed off, but I was supposed to have been looking halfway decent. And then when I smile, you see this big black tooth. That used to be something that made people laugh. Good, clean fun. Practical jokes like that. Wouldn't it be something if you could give somebody a piece of gum and it would make their teeth turn a certain color? And they be thinking they were really, really looking good, honey. They go smiling and have these black teeth or something. Just as long as they weren't going to a job interview or something like that, Lord knows that wouldn't be funny. But I want to give you um, a piece of advice, a hair advice. No, you didn't say that. I know you didn't say that. You said, okay, that's okay. You said I've been seeing and listening to what you've been doing to your hair and how you've been wearing it. And I don't know, thank you. I can't take advice from you, but you might really be able to use this advice. Okay, so this is for people, who have hair like mine. When your hair is wet and you're about to braid your hair, it's a good tip. When your hair is wet, you just washed it, or it's moist, and you don't want it to dry out before you get to the next section to part it, because sometimes parting takes a long time depending on what type of braiding you're doing. You want to take a plastic cap, and you want to put it over the rest of the section like that. See, when I was braiding this braid right here, all this was in like a little ponytail, and I had my stocking cap on there. I won't call it a stocking cap, plastic cap on it, the rest of it keeping it moist from drying out, because some of us, our hair, when it dries, it expands like a sponge, and those ends, honey, sometimes those ends just go whoosh, and when you try to comb through it, your hair gets wider and wider, and water moisture, it kind of narrows your hair strands, but when that moisture leaves, it just goes whoosh, turn into a fro. So that's a good piece of advice, right? Okay, so the second thing I want to say is this tip right here. I know you're probably wondering, why are you wearing a scarf with a tank top, honey? And plus it's wintertime. Well, I got hot. I was braiding my hair like I said. But listen, this is the secret. Now, you might not want to use this, but listen, you get creative when you start doing braids. When you do braids, it just brings out a lot of creativity in you. So, you know how sometimes you do braids and you want to stretch your hair. You don't want the ends to draw up like this one right here. It came out. Well, I'm gonna show you why I'm wearing this scarf. It makes sense. I want to tell you a secret first. I still wear barrettes. I know I'm a grown woman. I'm a grandmother, and my granddaughter, that is my granddaughter's barrette. She don't even know. But I have a few of her barrettes. You know how your barrettes fall off your grandkids' heads? Her barrettes fell off, so I kept them, right? So listen, this is a good way to stretch your hair. True story. Now, it worked for me. It might not work for you. So listen, after I braided one side, I connect. That's as if your hair is long enough. I connected it in the middle with a rubber band. But when I got to that very last one down the middle, it wasn't long enough. So I took this barrette And let me undo it. I took this barrette and I put the braid in the barrette and fastened it so it would keep my hair stretched like that. See? And now I'm going to show you. I'm going to take it down to see, to show you. Take this off. I'm going to take my little rubber band off. So I did this braid first, and I did this braid second, and I brought those two pieces together. I put a rubber band, then I did my third braid, my fourth braid, and I brought those four pieces all together. Took the rubber band off, put them together. And look at that, honey. Yeah, honey. Yeah, honey. Like I said, different strokes for different folks. This is a stroke. There's that braid back there in the middle. And here, see, your ends end up stretched out. And that'll get, you know, so you might want to camouflage it. You don't want to be walking around with, yeah, honey, around your neck like that. And just depending on, if somebody didn't pay you, you braiding their hair, they say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. You don't want to make it tight. You don't want to choke anybody out. But yeah, I thought that was a good way to stretch my hair. See that? Because my hair draws out really easily. But it worked for me. It worked for me. All right. And let's see. Did that make anybody laugh? I don't know. But listen, it was a good tip that worked for me. So that was a little ethnic tip. So if you can't use it, maybe, you know, just learning about it. Not anything wrong with learning about other people's culture. It's a good idea. To me, work for me. Okay, so I don't know how well my sit-down comedy is working. Like I said, my tooth little joke, that didn't work. It didn't stay on my tooth. But black, what is it? It was charcoal, activated charcoal. It actually whitens your teeth. It's black, but it whitens your teeth. So sometimes you can just take your toothbrush and put some activated charcoal on there. And it does get messy, so you don't want to drop it on your sink, because when you try to wipe it off with water, it'll smudge everywhere. It will come off though. All right, and yeah. So how am I doing? I'm not doing so good. Oh my goodness. Okay, we'll take it easy on me, baby. That's that Adele song. I haven't listened to it enough to memorize the whole song or the very beginning, but I like that song. It's a nice song. So let's see. There were two other things I wanted to say. One thing is let me tell you, honey, do you ever really want to know what people really think of you sometime? Now, I can say this, it doesn't bother me, but honey, I've been told I'm dry, meaning don't have good conversation, I talk enough. I've been told, one time I had one of my aunties told me, sometime I get on my high horse, honey. So today I was in a public place, and this lady, she was upset, and she walked out of this meeting. And sometimes when it comes to medical decisions, your family has to make medical decisions for you if you don't put that stuff in a will. And honey, I said, oh, I know all about them family meetings when I saw her leaving the meeting. And like I said, it was in a public place, and I already knew what was going on. And she said, yeah, she said, honey, I was going to have to beat something about her brother up. And then the one sister, she said she thinks she's too good. And in my mind, I was thinking that would be me. Not that I think I'm too good, but I've heard people who are not kin to me say that. I've heard, like I said, my auntie say sometimes I get on my high horse and say that, you know, and I've heard, you know, but it's not true, not to me. And then I've heard people say that I think I'm too good. And I'm like, okay, how would you know what I think about myself? That I think I'm too good, honey. So yeah, it doesn't bother me, but it's surprising sometimes what people think of you. And do you ever feel like sometimes you know people are talking about you when you walk away from them, and you wondering what are they saying, because they looking at you and they talking while you walking away, and you know they talking about you. Ever